All eyes have been on Jajarkot and Rukum West that have been the worst affected since last week's earthquake. Many high-ranking officials, including the Prime Minister and the President, have paid visits to the sites, which has received flack as the VIP visits shifted the much-needed focus on victims towards security and management of the VIPs instead, and the victims say the leaders too have not lived up to their promises. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Majority earthquake victims in Jajarkot say they are yet to receive relief support despite pledges by leaders and officials. Relief distribution limited to those with access to politics and power. People's representatives abuse the state's coffer in the name of hiring personal secretaries, around 180 million rupees spent in 1 year just for their salaries. The lives of 2.3 million Palestinians at risk as essential services closed due to lack of fuel. UN says no life-saving fuel has been allowed into Gaza. And 8 matches slated for tonight at the Champions League. Borussia Dortmund up against English side Newcastle in the first match. Several victims of the earthquake in Jajarkot and Rukum West have received relief materials to the local government. Jajarkot District Administration Office has said that relief materials have been distributed in all 7 local levels of the district. This includes rice, lentils, tents and blankets, among others, that were given to victims in Bheri, Nalgard, Chedagard municipalities and Kushe, Barekot, Juni Chade and Shivalay rural municipalities in the first phase. The victims received 108 different types of relief materials. However, many others have poured grievances saying that distribution of relief has been limited to those with access to power. Likewise, relief materials have been distributed to victims of Atbiskot, Sani Bheri and Musikot municipality of Rukum West. President Ramchandra Paudel reached the earthquake-affected district Jajarkot today to take stock of the situation. He also gathered information regarding the condition of injured individuals that have been admitted to Jajarkot Hospital. The victims urged the President to make arrangements for their treatment, food, reconstruction of shelter and other basic needs, and in response, the President gave assurances to the victims saying that he would ensure their basic needs are fulfilled. The President also held discussion with public representatives, security personnel and victims of the earthquake. President Paudel urged the public representatives to work by formulating short-term and long-term plans for the victims. In the wake of the earthquake, the head of the state had postponed his visit to Europe, saying that it would be inappropriate. In the meantime, distribution of relief materials to the victims have been affected due to the high-level visits in the earthquake-affected areas. Our colleagues Saroj Oli, Shyam Shrestha and Ramesh Thamala have been continuously covering the ground situation of Jajarkot after last Friday's earthquake. Based on their observation and responses from the victims across the district, the VIP visits have impeded relief distribution and the distribution of relief materials have been uneven. A huge number of security personnel deployed initially for the rescue and relief operation were concentrated to ensure safety of visiting officials, including President Ramchandra Paudel, who reached Jajarkot today. Victims, meanwhile, called the VIP visits at this time of crisis was unnecessary. They also say relief distribution has been uneven. There are places in the affected region that are remote and victims have been awaiting for relief materials. However, locals say relief materials have been limited to those with access to politics and power. Many with such grievance have reached the headquarters Khalanga in search of relief support. They say that there are women and children. In fact, women and children are compelled to spend the cold nights outside with no tarpaulins, clothes, blankets and temporary arrangements. Some victims add relief materials have gone to those already well off and have access to power. Meanwhile, authorities are yet to accurately estimate the number of population affected by the earthquake. Based on past government data, over 37,000 families live within Jajarkot. At the lack of the mechanism to ensure proper relief distribution, there is a risk of an epidemic as the health of the victims, especially women and children, remains compromised. In another most affected region, Rukum West, our colleague Mahesh Kesi has been covering the stories of the victims. He reports of increasing mental health issues among the victims, with many still struggling with trauma and anxiety and showing loss of appetite. A series of aftershocks have kept the trauma of Friday's earthquake still alive for many. There are victims who are struggling to accept the loss of their loved ones. Health professionals opine the victims are in need of proper care and consultancy. However, even relief materials have yet to reach Rukum West too. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, today we have asked in several provinces how have they found the role played by political parties during crisis invited by natural disasters. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
अहिलेको परिस्थिति हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो देखियो, सकारात्मक देखियो, सबै पार्टीका व्यक्तित्वहरू गएको देखियो।
नेताहरू त सबै आउँछन् हेर्न, तर सहयोग गर्नले त कसैले गर्दैनन्।
भित्री रूपमा चाहिँ सहयोग हुन्न, बाहिरी रूपमा देखावटी रूपमा चाहिँ उहाँहरूले सहयोग गरिराख्नु भएको छ।
सहयोग गर्ने कुरोमा त म भन्न सक्दिनँ, तर लुटेर चाहिँ लुटेर हुन्।
नेताहरूले आफ्नो आफ्नो के अरे पार्टी प्रचार गरे जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई।
भूकम्पले जुन क्षति पुर्यायो त्यसमा चाहिँ राजनीतिक दलहरूले जुन एकबद्धता जनाएर हातेमालो गरेर जुन काम गर्नुभयो उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ सराहनीय धन्यवाद।
मुखले त भन्छन् नेताहरूले यस्तो गर्छौँ उस्तो गर्छौँ, तर अब जुनले त्यो जुन पीडितहरूले हुन्छ नि पीडितहरू उनीहरूले राम्ररी पाउन सकेको छैन।
चुनावको बेलामा चाहिँ अब गर्छु भनेर आशा देखाएको हुनुहुन्छ, त्यो पीडित पछि चाहिँ गएर केही भन्यो भने उहाँहरूले वास्तै गर्नुहुन्न।
सबैको चाहिँ भूमिका सकारात्मक हुनुपर्छ।
जब जनतालाई समस्या पर्छ, आपद विपद पर्छ, सङ्कट पर्छ, त्यस समयमा राजनीतिक दलका नेताहरू अग्रसर हुँदैनन्।
नेताहरू भित्रभित्रै मन नभए पनि अरूलाई देखावटीको रूपमा मात्र त्यो कामहरूमा सहभागी भएका छन्।
यो पार्टी त्यो पार्टी भन्नु हुँदैन।
जब जब सङ्कटहरू पर्छ सबै राजनीतिक दलहरू एक ठाउँमा आएर आम मान्छेहरूलाई सुखी खुसी र अगाडि बढाउने काममा लागिरहनुहुन्छ।
चुनावलाई लक्षित बनाएर मात्रै घटनास्थलमा गए भन्ने खालको आरोपहरू हामीले यदाकदा सुनिन्छ।
आफ्ना भातृ र शुभेच्छुक सङ्घ संस्थाहरूलाई चाहिँ यो उद्धार कार्यमा र अन्य सहयोगका काममा चाहिँ लगाउन नसकेको देखिन्छ।
जो चाहिँ भिक्टिम हो उनीहरूले नपाइकन चाहिँ राजनीतिक दलमा आस्था राख्ने नेता कार्यकर्ता अथवा भोटरले मात्रै यो राहतहरू पाइरहेको छ।
डिजास्टर टुरिज्मलाई प्रमोट गर्न गए जस्तै गरेर चाहिँ धेरै व्यक्तिहरू एक ठाउँमा जम्मा भइराखे जस्तो त्यस्तो चाहिँ देखिएको छ।
Political parties have reached a consensus to come together against what they call external forces that are negatively influencing the country's federalism, democracy and republicanism. Attending a meeting called by the Prime Minister at Singha Darbar, the 7 parties that played crucial role in peace process and formation of the constitution concluded that various forces were acting against federalism and democracy. The meeting also dwelt on concluding the works of laws related to transitional justice and relief and reconstruction works for the victims of the Jajarkot earthquake. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, has issued a 22-point suggestion, including the scrapping of the provision of people's representatives of all tiers, appointing personal secretaries, which has added an unnecessary burden on the state coffers given the lack of results they have produced. As 334 lawmakers of the Federal Parliament had the luxury to appoint personal secretaries, the government spent 179.2 million rupees in the Nepalese fiscal year 2078 for a total of 436 personal assistants. In Bagmati province, 279.9 million rupees was spent for salaries of 107 personal secretaries of 107 public representatives during the previous term. Likewise, 1,2.066 million rupees had been spent from the state coffers for salaries of personal secretaries of 443 public representatives of 6 provinces. The CIA has therefore suggested to immediately scrap the provision of appointing personal secretaries, saying that it has increased the burden on the state. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before that, let's take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked, what should be the priority of the 16th five-year plan? 45% voted for A, create job opportunities, 44% for B, increase production, and 11% for C, sustainable development. And here's today's question. What should be done to control the trend of exploiting state coffers in the name of keeping personal secretaries? The options are A, clear criteria, B, honesty from leadership, and C, tighten monitoring. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. UN Humanitarian Office (OCHA) has said that Gaza services are close to breaking point without fuel supplies, adding that none of the 569 aid trucks that had reached the enclave so far were carrying fuel. Explosions were seen in Gaza near the border with Israel before sunset today, a month since the Hamas's attack, which sparked Israel's fierce military assault on the enclave. In Khan Yunis and Rafah, 2 separate strikes on homes killed 23 people overnight, according to Palestinian health officials. Israel has bombarded the enclave since the Hamas raid on southern Israel 1 month ago, when its fighters killed 1,400 people and seized 240 hostages. Gaza health officials say the Israeli assault has killed more than 10,000 Palestinians, including some 4,100 children. Gaza's health ministry said that 1 child is being killed every 10 minutes. Time now for another short break. We'll be right back. Kantipur Publications has clarified it does not bow to pressure or influence from any third party and works within internal agreement and legal ways. Issuing a press release today, the publications asserted that there had been well-organized activities to spread misinformation towards the leadership. The publications has also clarified that it is revising the human resource scale considering the ongoing economic slump, but added that it will be done by following all legal processes and that several rounds of discussions have been held for packages for voluntary resignation. Time now for sports update.
Sports news.
The Bagmati province government is poised to invest 525 million rupees for the construction of the Gautam Buddha International Cricket Stadium that has been stranded. The spokesperson for Ministry of Social Development informed that the meeting between the Bagmati province government and Bharatpur metropolis officials in Hetauda had decided that Bagmati province would bear 70% of the investment cost for the project, with remaining to be taken care by the metropolis. The first phase of construction of the parfait to accommodate up to 10,000 audience, a cricket pitch and a ground is expected to cost 750 million rupees. The cricket stadium was first envisioned by the Dhurmus Sundali Foundation, which claims to have completed 35% of the construction works. The foundation had initially estimated the project's cost at 3,550 million rupees. So far, 540 million rupees have been spent and the foundation had withdrawn from the project, citing loans of more than 160 million rupees. Nepal had proposed India for the construction of Chitwan's Gautam Buddha and Dhangadi's Fapla Cricket Stadium, as Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had informally floated the proposal during his India visit some 5 months ago. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.